Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. It has been a minute since I have posted anything here. Should I make the boomer joke of I haven't seen you since last year? On the first day of the new year. Happy New Year. And if you're new here, my name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and aspiring author. And it is time. It is time to talk about my planner situation, journal ecosystem, and what is going to happen for me, hopefully, question mark, fingers crossed, all of that in 2026, this year. Actually, I am filming this video on January 1st. I have been trying to film this video for the whole of December. December was a thing. Lots of things came up. 90% of them weren't awesome, and for the last half of December, we have been struggling with that whole not COVID, not the flu, respiratory situation. So I am feeling a little bit better. So I decided to go ahead and film this video. And if I'm being honest, being not feeling 100% was only half of why it's been such a struggle to film this. The other half is that I think for the first time since I have been sort of in the planner community, I just have really been like unsure of what I was going to use or how I wanted to use things, all of that. And so I wasn't really like excited about setting anything up or moving into the new year. So I think that was also probably a major part of why I've been kind of putting this off. And you will see as we kind of move through everything, I don't really have anything set up. Everything is pretty much like bare bones in terms of what I'm actually using, even though I know this looks like a lot. And in reality, I think this is probably the most like binders, notebooks, whatever you want to call it, that I've had going into a year. And it looks a little bit overwhelming. If you're saying, girl, what? As you look at the screen, I am right there with you. But it kind of feels like what I need for right now, so I am just going to go with it. And actually, this stack is not planners. These are mostly like journals. So I'm going to move these off to the side. Actually, this is a journal too. So let me take these out of the picture for now, and we'll talk about what I'm starting with. So these are like my main three things that I am starting the year with. This is an A5, this is a B6, and this is my personal rings. Let's start with the A5 and kind of work our way down. So the A5 I am using for my goal setting. And this is just like a jelly or like vinyl A5 cover that I got off of Amazon. I think it's really cute, and most importantly, it's lightweight. so that I can like toss it in my bag if I want to take it with me somewhere, like if I'm working outside of the house. So I just made this little 2026 kind of cover page on Canva and printed it out and stuck it in here. For my goal setting, I'm using a combination of the HB90 system, and then I also had the goal planning inserts from Paper Test Design. So I have kind of taken the time and done like some of the prep work. I'm not going to go like too much into it now, to kind of set things up for what I want my yearly goals to be, and then kind of breaking them down quarterly and then monthly. So I do have like my first quarter goal planning. I haven't set it up yet. Like I said, I'm playing catch up. I don't know if that's a great way to start the year, but it's how we're starting. So this is a really pretty vellum from Sterling Ink. And then I have my January. So I think I have January, February, and March in here. So kind of all of quarter one. And then I just have space for some notes and whatnot that I am going to be taking in here. And maybe some like project planning going on in these inserts as well, or in this A5 as well. So I will be in this kind of at least once a week as I'm kind of figuring out what I want my goal situation to be going into the week. So pretty often, not necessarily every day though. And then my B6 is the Faded Chronicle Complete Planner. I think I did an unboxing of this and posted it. So this is kind of my writing and content planner. I do have the first quarter kind of set up. So you get the quarters, and then you get the months, and then you get your weekly overview, and then you get your timed weekly. So that's how this planner is set up. And then you have some notes pages in the back. So I set it up for quarter one with my sort of main priorities for each of the month. And then these little circles for Q1 I'm using for project planning. So these are kind of the 3 major projects that I want to do in quarter one. And my plan is to assign each project a color and then track it here. So anytime I'm working on any of these projects, I want to mark it off here just so that I can see how it's going. And then this is my just tracker for kind of my workflow in this planner. And then the monthly I am using, let me flip to this page. So this page is blank, so I'm just kind of using it as a kind of brain dump for the month, any notes. So I wanted to have my first book published in December. It did not work. Missed that deadline. I'm very disappointed, but things are happening. So the color code for Hudson Harbor Book 1 is this blue color, and Hudson Harbor Book 2 is this like pinky orange or pinky purple color. And then on this page, I divided it into 3 sections so that I can have my things that I'm posting on Instagram, my author Instagram, and then like any reels or shorts that I want to post. And then I'm using the monthly as like a content calendar. And then my weekly overview. So I sort of am kind of trying to get out how I want to use these pages. So it's going to be a little bit of an experimentation, or a little bit of experimenting these first couple of weeks, but going into the last few days of December into the new year, don't have a lot planned, don't have a lot going on. You get these 4 boxes, so let me show you a blank one. So this is what a blank page looks like. So I'm using these as priorities. Anything that I want to remember going into the next week, a place for analytics, any notes, and then kind of my like big goals for the week. And then this I am using for videos, blog posts, or posting on my newsletter once that's launched. And then this is like writing goals, whether it's like word count or deadlines or something that I need to do. So, and then I'm using this to actually time block like I was doing in my rings. So instead of doing my ring or my time blocking in my everyday carry, I am doing it in this B6. So we will see how that goes. I plan to probably be in these 2 every day. Like these are going to work together. And they are essentially like the same size. So, and then my next kind of everyday thing is my personal rings, my tried and true. It's not going anywhere. However, I did switch into using personal size inserts. I have been using Franklin Covey compact inserts for the last few years, and I loved FCC, no complaints about it. Really, my push to try personal size inserts was because I just was really tired of printing and cutting my own inserts, and I wanted to be able to buy some already printed inserts on the fly if I needed to without having to worry about things too much. And so I don't have everything exactly how I want it in my setup. I'm still tweaking it here and there, but I can kind of show you what I have going on for now. So this is just kind of like a place for listing things, and any kind of notes I want to take. I have space for in here. And then this next section is more like a commonplace kind of section. So just like information that this is more for like quick notes. This is kind of information that I want to like keep, and I'm kind of processing that kind of information. So I have space for it here. And then we go into my monthly section. I bought the inserts from Sterling Ink. So I bought the monthly and the weekly. I might go ahead and buy the dailies. I'm still thinking about it. But anyway, so and I did get the gilded edges, which is really nice. I have this PeanutsPlannerCo fold out just to track birthdays and anniversaries this year. This is the yearly overview you get with the inserts. And then you get this tracker. So on this tracker, I have not set it up yet, but I am doing a color code just for my symptoms. And then I was going to do my fasting blood sugar on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. This is going to be my mood log, I think. And then I think I'm going to use this kind of quarterly breakdown as more like a quarterly vision board. And then for my mood log, the idea was to assign colors to them and then write down kind of a word. So let's say like I assign gray to like meh kind of mood, and I would, color this in gray and then kind of come in and mark down why I'm sort of, so maybe I just was like annoyed that day, that sort of thing. So you get all of the quarters broken down that way, and then you go right into your monthly. For December, since you get December, I sort of experimented with tracking my depression and anxiety over here, just in different colors. And then my sleep down here, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So TBD. But this is what the monthlies look like. They are very functional, like them. I did some pen testing on this paper from my Filofax inserts. I have this in here. This is where I started tracking my fasting blood sugar this morning. Don't know if I'm going to keep that. This is from last year from Sterling Ink. I just cut it down and punched it in here. My next section is for my goals. So I have not set them up yet. So the plan is to move them from here to here, quarterly and monthly and weekly, just so that I can keep everything with me. So these are kind of my goal areas. So I have creative life, author, studio, heart and home, which is like family. Flourish is sort of personal development, learning new skills, that sort of thing. And then nourish is sort of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health. So I have not set these up yet, but I do have, so I have goals for the year, quarter one, and then breaking them down January, February, March. And this is just an insert from PeanutsPlannerCo. And then I am using this insert from Kina Prints, I think that's what it's called, for my weekly action steps. So I will combine, because there are only 4 spaces and I didn't want to I just wanted to be able to use like 2 pages for a week. I will combine like my creative stuff and my author stuff into one category. So, and then heart and home, and then flourish and nourish, and then it's just like a task list for that. So I have enough for the first quarter in here. I do have everything that I printed myself, printed on the Kikuyo paper, which I'm enjoying. And then these are the weeklies. If you have not seen them from Sterling Ink, it is a flex layout, I believe she's calling it. So you get, they look like this. So you can use them vertically, and they have the times on the side. So if I wanted to time block on these, I could, and I may if I have a kind of hectic week. But I think for now I am going to use them horizontally, kind of like the Hobonichi weeks. So the week events and whatnot would be on this page. Any like videos or anything associated like with my writing would go in these boxes up here, and then I can use this space as a running task list. So I only have the first 3 months in here. These are the rest of them. I did take them out because initially I had my setup in a different planner. Oh, by the way, this is my Moterm Personal Luxe. I had it in my just regular Moterm, and the rings I think are a little bit smaller, and so it was very chunky, so I took them out. I might go ahead and put them all in here. We'll see. This is a yearly tracker from Haru Plans. I printed this out before I bought these inserts, and so this was going to be sort of my symptom tracker. I don't know if I'm going to use this or the other one. We'll see. And then my next section are my daily pages. So this is a brain dump insert from the Planner Room shop, which I'm really enjoying. And then I have just a list for my January wins, which is an idea that I adapted from SleepyNotesClub. I am going to use, or try to use, this just weekly running task list for like reoccurring things so that I don't have to write them on my daily pages. We'll see how that goes for the month. So I just have a couple of these punched in here, and then we go into my kind of daily monthly book. These are a custom insert from Perfective Paper, but I have this as my gratitude log for the month. I'm not sure what I'm going to put here. Maybe nothing. We'll see. Maybe some deco, maybe my favorite pictures of the month. I'm not really sure. And then I have this monthly for my January meal plan. And then I have my habit tracker in here as well. And then these freebies from the Sleepy Notes Club. So just a January calendar and January goals. And then it goes into my daily pages. So I have a whole month's worth of dailies punched in here. And then I just have some notes pages. And then this is kind of my content planning section. So I just have notes pages in here. I have a month on one page calendar, so that if I don't want this with me, I can have this and kind of know what's going on. I took this from this insert just to track like reels and shorts that I want to do. And then this is for January Instagram. My author IG Instagram, just like a general task list, and then some more listing inserts. I have this pullout in here. I think I'm going to use it to track my word count once I start working on a new project. I don't know that I'm going to use this. I think I just punched it in here, and then I have some of these, so when I'm actually like filming and working on a video, I can take notes and then just kind of throw them out as needed. mind mapping inserts. I use these for project planning. And then just some more notes pages. This is my like inbox. I usually just write things on sticky notes and put them on here. Sorry. And then this is just like randomness. I don't really know where it's going to go, so this is where it is. And then I have this section in the back, which is like passwords, contact info, and then like my, I am going to attempt to do like my own budgeting stuff in here for like my writing, author, content stuff, to keep track of that. And then that is really all that I have in here. So trying to think, these are my planners, things that I'm going to be in every day. So it's not that overwhelming. It really is at most 3, more likely 2, but we shall see. And this is my kind of journal stack. So let's start with these. This is just a Moleskine expanded notebook. I am going to use as a commonplace book. So this is not something that I think that I will be in every day, but I did want to get it set up for the year. Nothing in it yet. And then this is a 2025 Hobonichi Cousin. I bought on Black Friday because they were like $20. And I am going to use this for my personal curriculum study. So my plan is to redate it, which I haven't. I'm only going to redate the months and the weeks, and then I am just going to like ignore the dates on the daily pages. And this, I want to track exactly kind of what I'm studying and the resources that I'm using. So like the books for January, I'm reading The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson, and The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. And I have another one that I just requested from the library that I'm hoping to pick up tomorrow for kind of my history exploration. And then I am using this, creating character arcs, as just kind of my study on writing and becoming a better storyteller. And then I'm using this one for a tarot deep dive. So I want to kind of list out the books that I am using, or any other resources, like if I am watching a video or a documentary, or I go see an exhibit somewhere, I kind of want to track it here. And then I'm just going to use these weeklies as any, just kind of tracking what I'm doing. So if I manage to get through like 100, 200 pages of this, I kind of want to mark that down, and maybe just the like broader ideas of what was in that material. and then anything like specific that I want to either explore more or remember, or something that really captures my attention, or information that I want to know, I will write in the daily pages. So these are both more like notebooks, not likely to be used every day, but I did want to have them. And then this I have set up as a book journal. So my reading last year was absolutely abysmal. I think a lot of it, I had a lot of anxiety and depression last year, and that really kind of interferes with my attention span. And yeah, so I think I maybe read 6 books in 2025, which, yeah. And then I think the other part of it is, if I'm tracking, it feels like I'm rewarding myself for doing it. So I have this planner. This is actually a week's dupe that I got off of AliExpress. You can see the 2026 is crooked, which is kind of funny. This was like $4. So I bought it just to kind of see what it was like. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. I have it kind of set up. The paper is not Tomoe River paper, I will say that. And there are fewer blank pages in the back, I believe. But I do have it set up for the year, kind of. So I'm just going to color in one of these books every time I complete a book. My husband, he got a 3D printer for Christmas, and he made me this little stencil, which is adorable. And then when I start a book, I want to write the book title, and I'm just going to draw a line for the number of days it takes me to finish reading it. Then in the weeklies, I will likely write down the book or books that I'm reading, any quotes, anything that strikes me. I do have on the December pages, since I wasn't using, I am going through my physical TBR, so books that I physically own that have just been sitting there. I want to try to read them this year. So these are these pages. Like I said, this is not Tomoe River paper, but for $4, what do you expect? This is the 365, so I just want to color in every day that I actually read. And then I have my star ratings here. My reading goal is 75 books. Actually, my good goal is 50, my better goal is 60, and my best goal is 75. And then I just started writing down books on my TBR. I did do this little symbol so that I can tell kind of the genre and whether or not it's available on Kindle Unlimited, which I currently have. So that's that. I think in the back I also have a monthly favorite spread, and in this little section in the back I have new releases for each quarter, and then roughly sketched out by the months. So I think these are January releases, February, and then this comes out in March. So, and then that's it. So that is that setup. And this is my memory keeping creative journal. So I really wanted to try to be in a traveler's notebook for my actual planning this year, and I just couldn't do it. I'm finding out that I am a rings planner. I just can't do it. And the 1 year that I successfully did memory keeping all year, I did it in a standard size traveler's notebook using Traveler's Company inserts. So I have I think it's called Weekly Memo, that I am just going to use as memory keeping, adding pictures, little things we did during the week, whatever in here. I already have pictures printed out from Christmas that I want to put in here, and then this is this week's. And then I have this blank insert in here that came, oh, this is a Moterm cover. I really like it. But this insert came with the cover. And this is for if I want to do like any junk journaling, if I want to do like more in-depth memory keeping, like my older son's birthday is tomorrow, and I think we're going out next week to celebrate his birthday. So if I want to do something about that, I can do that here. And then I have this insert as just a more extended journaling, like Dear Diary kind of journaling in here. And then I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but that's okay because the last insert and this go together. So last year I did my tarot journal in a Kimbor Daily, I think it was called. And I liked it, but I didn't like it because I was worried about using up all of my pages. And so that didn't let me, or that kind of stopped me from really using it too much. The one thing that I did like doing was my pulling a card for the day and writing a little bit about it on my monthly calendar. So I got this undated monthly insert that I am going to do that in here. And then I repurposed one of my old happy planners to use as my tarot journal. I have not finished setting it up. I also flipped this cover around because I like this side better. So I really just have a bunch of notes paper in here that I am going to use for journaling, doing any spreads that I want to do, anything like that. So this is just line paper that I got off of Amazon. This is some grid paper that I got from Happy Planner. More lined paper, so just various pages in here. I've already started doing kind of some journaling about my birth chart. So I am kind of excited to set this up. I have not had the opportunity to set it up the way that I want to, but I think I'm going to work on that today. So that is this is what I'm headed into 2025 video. It looks, I think, a little bit more intense and hectic than it actually is, but yeah, we're gonna start the year with this and kind of see where it takes me. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Once again, Happy New Year. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. Turn on your notifications, do all of the YouTubey things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.